Hello and welcome to this weekly psychic forecast for week commencing the 27th of March 2023. We are streaking towards April and we're now in British summertime, so the clocks have finally gone forwards. May have lost an hour's sleep, but the days are brightening up and it's pretty nice. So we've got the overview for next week laid out here in front of us. We've also got our other little spirit cards here. I've got the money oracle, the romance oracle, my spirit message oracle, and lastly one I don't normally use, which is the cat oracle. Now if you remember my cat Evie, who passed away about 1.5 years ago, this kind of has her energy, so I apologise in advance. And I've also got the Akashic Tarot here if we need any clarifiers. So let's dive on in with the overview of the week, and let's take a look at what's coming up in this week's energy. So wow, this one showed up last week, so it's interesting to me that it's showing up again. I forget which day it came out on, but we definitely had this one. So there is very much this sense of balancing our power. And last week I was talking very much about balancing the masculine and feminine energies, the divine masculine, divine feminine. But it looks like we're taking things a step further this week. So, oh, interesting numerology. Look at this. We've got a 2, a 52, and a 5. So we've got the numbers 5 and 2, 5 and 2. Okay, very interesting. And the way these are the other way around, so that would be 25, 52. So I want to bring those numbers in as well. As you guys know, I'm a numerologist, so I'm a bit of a number nerd, so I will always pick the numbers out if I see patterns and I think they're relevant. Very interesting. Yes, so 5 and 2 is the divine masculine and the divine feminine, if you like, because if we look at the tarot, for example, 2 is the high priestess, 5 is the high priest. So we have this very sacred and combined energy here as well. Very interesting. With 52 we would have the feminine leading the masculine, and with 25 we would have the masculine leading the feminine. So it's very balanced this week. I want to say the masculine and feminine actually noticeably coming into balance in certain ways in your life, whether it's within you, whether it's people around you, maybe it's people just changing their behaviours, maybe it's something that you notice on the television, in popular culture, you know, on the world stage. Very interesting though, because that is how we wield our power. We must be integrated in order to truly be powerful, in order to have control over ourselves, because that's what true power is. It's not about being able to control other people. That's not power, that's just force. True power is to have mastery over oneself, over one's thoughts, over, you know, your existence, so that you are acting, not reacting. Wow, very, very empowered energy as we enter this week, I think. I think this is a week where we're going to be able to really achieve things, or to get the ball rolling on some of our goals. Maybe to manifest things as well, because we have this magic scarab beetle here. The scarab, a very sacred beetle in ancient Egypt, very symbolic animal, so that may actually show up at some point on your path, or you may even see a beetle as though the weather's getting warmer here in the northern hemisphere. Obviously if you're in the southern hemisphere you might see a beetle as well. But magic works through you. Really loving this energy. With present power, magic works through in the throat chakra. I want to say this is a week to literally speak your world into being. Speak your world into being. Declare your world into being. Say what you want out loud. Give the words power. You know, say them, sing them, shout them, declare them. I feel that's going to be very helpful for manifesting the things that we want. And that may be changes in the world as well, not just little things that we want for ourselves, or more money. Who doesn't want more money, right? You know, or our personal goals, but bigger goals as well, speaking them into being. I want to talk about mantras. I want to talk about chanting. I want to talk about song, or using the voice, because as I'm saying this, I'm very, very aware of my voice resonating in my chest right now, which I'm not something I normally feel, but my guides are bringing my awareness to it. So I feel the voice will be very powerful. The voice coupled with the heart, very, very powerful this week. I think as a result, we need to watch our words, be very careful about what we say, because we may be more capable of manifesting things this week than we realise. So we need to watch our words. It's going to be a little bit of a week of be careful what you wish for. So there's that element too. I just want to bring in a little bit of caution there. But overall, this feels very positive, feels very empowered this week. We're going to be feeling more empowered, feeling more balanced within ourselves, and perhaps seeing that reflected in the world around us as well. So quite an exciting energy to be getting on with here. I'm quite very much looking forward to this week. And I just want to mention I am. So there are mantras, I am mantras, where you use the I am presence and you declare I am. I'm not explaining it very well. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't, then that's something you can look up when you're talking about the I am presence. And that's aligning yourself energetically with God, basically, which is a wonderful thing to do, beautiful energy to get into. Obviously, that is the energy you want to be in, to align yourself with God or with Source in order to manifest your desires. That's how it works. You know, we align ourselves with that energy. But it's very much a coming together of the sacred and the mundane, the arcane and the mundane, I think, this week as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens again in individual lives on the world stage. It feels like a transformational week as well, quite magical, maybe some synchronicity going on there. Yes, very spiritual. I think there's a real opportunity for spiritual learning after the weekend as well. I think the weekend that we've just had may have opened up some doors for you spiritually, literally some doors of perception, to quote Jim Morrison. But yes, it's a powerful energy, because with 52 we get 7. 5 plus 2 is 7, and then we have another 5 and 2 here, so that's another 7. So again, that brings us to 14. Incredibly balancing number, 14, 5, so it reduces to 5 again. So the masculine is very much underpinning all of this energy. The masculine energy is the one balancing and carrying all of this. Yes, so it feels like the divine masculine is going to be front and centre, actually doing most of the heavy lifting. So let's bring in some of these cards here as well. Let's bring in the Spirit Oracle, see what else they've got to say for us. Oops, all the cards want to come out. That's good. Who wants to come out? Whoops. Be silent. Ah, yes, meditation, contemplation. Yes. But I also want to talk about mantra. So there's a place for mantra, but there's also a place for meditation and silent contemplation too. You don't have to be using the voice all the time, only when it's important, only when it matters, I want to say. And this is what I was saying about declare what you want and be silent the rest of the time, because you might manifest something you don't want. It's a very, very powerful week for manifesting. Extremely potent energy this week. So be careful what you say out loud, because it might show up. If you just say something like jokingly, like, oh yeah, I'll buy myself a horse, you might accidentally find yourself getting a horse show up. Anyway, I would like that. You know, I would love a horse. I would be okay with that. 43 cosmic alignment. Oh, lovely. Another 7, 43, 7. So very mystical energy. 7, the number of the mystic, very spiritual number. The number of the spiritual seeker, the spiritual student. Cosmic alignment. So be interesting to see what's actually going on astrologically this week as well. I'm not an astrologer, as you know. Have a look to see what's going on in your chart this week as well, because it feels like well, not just astrologically, but it feels like things coming into alignment, so your ducks kind of starting to line up, being able to actually create and produce and manifest the things that we want this week. So it is kind of a magical moment where we can make things appear quite quickly, which is why caution is needed, caution's warranted. Sovereign being, yes, this reminder here, you are a sovereign being. And because of this potent energy this week, there will be those who know about these things, who call themselves authorities or powers, although they're not working for the good of us, they're only working for themselves. The people I call the dark powers sometimes, or the powers that should not be, or the powers that were, because I like to put them in the past tense. There's a reminder here that they will be trying to manipulate us. Okay, so it's an incredibly powerful week, and there will be those around you, more on the national, international scale, but also on a more personal scale as well, because, you know, the narcissist in your life will sense it, sense that there's a lot to be gained this week. They will be trying to manipulate you, I would say, into thinking the wrong things, saying the wrong things, you know, declaring things that you don't want, shouting about things that you don't want, which is incredibly unhelpful. And we have to remember that we are sovereign beings. We are working to create our individual future, our individual good. We are working towards that. And we're not doing it alone, we're all doing it together, but we have to remember we are all sovereign beings and we don't need to be told what to do. In fact, we should not be told what to do. You know, that's when humanity is led astray. For example, we know it's wrong to kill. We know that's wrong, you know, and look at any world religion, it's going to tell you killing is wrong. But it's okay when the government tells you to do it. How is it suddenly right at that point because it's sanctioned by somebody sat on a big chair? You know, well, the king says it's okay to do it. No, it's not okay. It's still murder. So think very carefully about what you're being asked to think, to say, to believe, to get angry about this week. Be very, very careful because your energy is going to be very potent, and there will be those who will be trying to use that against you or use it for their own purposes and their own ill-gotten gains. So love is all around you always. Yes. Yes, that's the reminder. Okay, and I think there will be a lot to feel angry about this week as well. I think the media or those in positions of authority may actually be trying to enrage people more than usual this week. I mean, obviously that's been an ongoing theme for a while, hasn't it? And at times when it suits them, that's what they do. But I want to say this week in particular, it's a very important week for that. So remember to act from love, always act from love. Okay, always act from the heart, always come from the heart. And this one's written in green ink as well, 54.9. So act with wisdom. Yeah, but because the divine masculine wants to get things done, he likes to act. He is action, he is fire, he is Mars, you know, the planet, not the chocolate. And yeah, make sure you're coming from that solid foundation. Make sure you're acting, not reacting. That's so, so important. And that you're doing it coming from a loving place, not from a place of anger or frustration or hatred or, you know, any of those negative feelings. And if you feel yourself about to do that, I want to say that's when it's time to step out. Take a moment, take a breath, be silent, meditate, contemplate, take some time out and get yourself back in balance because you're so, so powerful this week. So let's take a look at romance and relationships this week. So this isn't just romantic relationships, this is also relevant to platonic relationships and family as well. Let's take a look what's going on here. Oops. Okay, so we have marriage and divorce. So yeah, some very big themes coming up in relationships at the moment. Maybe something very big that you need to look at, that you need to consider, you know, maybe taking the next step. Commitment, yes. And I put a dotted line on this one. I don't know if you can see that, but commitment, dotted line. So is it time to sign on the dotted line? And that could be a marriage, it can be a divorce, you know, it can just be stepping forwards, moving forwards together, signing a contract, buying a home together, you know, helping somebody with something. And I want to say, I want to bring in a little bit of caution here. Yes, relationships, if you want them to thrive, they do require a level of commitment. But there's quite a heavy energy coming in here. So for some people, it will be rather that you feel railroaded into a commitment. Maybe you're being asked to sign something that you're not comfortable with. Maybe you're being asked to be guarantor for somebody when you're not comfortable with doing that, or you don't think it's a good idea. So I want you to think very, very carefully because these are very, very big themes, not to be taken lightly at all. And again, the divine masculine likes to move fast, but we don't need to do that just yet. You know, we can, yes, of course, act from the heart, but take your brain with you. I think I was saying that last week as well. What do you need to let go of? Yeah, there's definitely some things to let go of before you can see what's going on quite clearly in your relationships at the moment. It may be some things in yourself, maybe some unhelpful or incorrect beliefs in yourself that you need to let go of. 6511-2. So again, it feels like some emotions that we need to let go of. Maybe we've been all up in our head or all up in our emotions and not thinking clearly, not having the full picture, maybe not looking at the full picture. We're only looking at one tiny little part of it this week. And there is something to let go of. So it may literally be a divorce. It may literally be signing, you know, divorce papers for some people. Obviously not for everyone. This is a group reading. Not everyone's getting divorced. Not everyone's married. But it's important, big, heavy themes. What do you need to let go of? It might be that in your relationship, you need to let go of resentment. Okay, or maybe you've been angry about something for a long time and you need to forgive the person for something that they've done that they're very, very sorry about, and they can't be even any more sorry, but you just won't let it go. Or it could be the other way around. It could be them that's holding the grudge. Anxiety and fear, yes, because that's what will hold you back from the transformation, from the change that you need. And you could find yourself entering another cycle of exactly the same thing if this isn't sorted out sort of around this time scale. So anxiety and fear on 37.10.1. So there's a potential to start a new cycle here, but like I said, we can end up falling back into the old habits. And this is true of things on the world stage as well. You know, we can fall back into old habits. Oh no, this is happening, I don't like it. This politician says we should do this. Quick, let's get behind him. It's like, hang on. Last week you were saying that politicians are all liars and you don't trust any of them. Why do you suddenly trust this one because you're unhappy about something? So I want you to think very, very clearly and very carefully about things. I'm noticing that I'm putting out 4s. Here I put 4 yellow cards, 4 pink cards. As you guys know, if you follow me or if you follow Cosmic Dragon, my other channel, I read intuitively, so I don't have a specific thread. I do have a thread sometimes. I don't have a specific layout that I use. So it's always interesting to see how I've been guided to put the cards out, because there's very often some meaning that we can glean there as well. So 4s, I'm putting out 4s, which is a very stable number. It can indicate hard work, stability, earth signs. You know, I want to go to Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, maybe not so much Taurus. Because Taurus can be a little bit emotional, but certainly Virgo and Capricorn energy I want to bring in this week. If you can lean into, if you have those in your chart, lean into them, okay, lean into those signs. If not, you know, maybe take advice from a Virgo or Capricorn friend. They may be very insightful this week. Let's take a look at the money oracle as well, see what we have here. Wealth and assets. So again, could be time for some financial advice to look at how you're planning things. Coming soon. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice indeed. Pot of gold. Yeah. And 2 want to come out here, so we're going to bring them both out together. Money magic and pounds, shilling and pence. This is interesting. So coming soon, that's nice. There's a real sense of anticipation here. A real sense of anticipation of being able to create this week, to create projects, to begin projects, to progress a project, a business, to, you know, make changes and tweaks that will help you to be more financially wealthy or solvent, depending on what your position is at the moment. You know, it's going to be different for everybody, because some people are okay financially, other people not so much. But whatever your position is, it does feel like there's improvement which is available this week. With the pot of gold, that could be quite magical, quite a magical shift, a magical change. It's sat on top of the magic scarab beetle as well. And we've got money magic up here. So I feel like this would be a good week to do some sort of money spells, if you're into spell work, if you do that sort of thing. High magics, low magics, doesn't matter what it is. Or just something really, really simple. You know, it doesn't have to be like a full-on ceremony or something. You might just feel inspired to get one of these little Maneki Neko to help manifest some money for you. You know, you might see something in a shop, like some goldstone. Goldstone was our crystal last week. That one kept coming up. But I think there's going to be some inspiration here, some inspiration coming in that will actually help you financially on the longer term. Pound, shilling and pence. So there's a connection to the past here as well, because we don't use shillings anymore in this country, if you're not British. We have pounds and pence. We don't have pounds, shillings and pence anymore. So that's kind of almost like an old-fashioned energy coming in here. So it might be something, an old-fashioned way of doing things. Maybe it's something a bit retro coming in. Obviously it'll be individual, be different for everyone, whatever it is that comes up for you. Or it might be listening to advice from a grandparent, for example, from somebody from one of the older generations. They might have some real interesting insights coming in. So it's a very, very interesting energy financially. There's a lot of opportunity again here this week, which is to be expected when we're in this masculine energy that wants to charge forwards, that's quite empowered, balanced with the feminine this week. So not surprising at all. But I would say listen to your elders this week. You know, if you're lucky enough to have older people in your life, listen to them, because they're going to have some interesting insights this week, even if what they're saying is completely wrong, but it makes you think, you know, and it helps you to understand some things. It doesn't mean they're necessarily right. All the time they're not. Interesting though, magical energy for sure when it comes to money and manifesting. So let's just bring in the cat oracle here as well, see what they've got to add, see what they've got to say. Now these cards can have a bit of an attitude, a bit like Evie did, my little cat. Maneki Neko, so that's hilarious. Let's just bring him back in. Let's bring Maneki Neko back in. So it might be a week where you feel drawn to get Maneki Neko, or maybe to anoint yours. Mine's, you see his head's a little bit oily here, because I do actually anoint him with a money oil every so often, then I clean him off and I anoint him again. So yes, just some little things that you can do to help manifest a bit more money for yourself, or abundance or finance. So it is a good week, good work. A good week for money magic. Very interesting that he would show up again. Okay, what else have our little cats got to say to us? Tom. Okay, so the tomcat energy, so divine masculine coming in with the tomcat, but he's a very loving energy. The tomcat's very confident, he's very balanced within himself, but he is territorial, so there isn't a reminder to hold your boundaries here. Do what a tomcat would do. He doesn't allow anyone to trespass on his territory. You know, he doesn't take any crap. So tomcat energy coming in here. And also catnip. Well, catnip's fun. So there's a reminder here from the cats. Don't forget to have some fun, because it might be quite a serious energy, because there's some big heavy themes going on here. Could be a really, really kind of heavy week in many respects, and you might have some heavy responsibilities coming in, because tomcats have a lot of responsibility. They've got a big territory, you know, they've got to keep an eye on all the girls, you know, they're quite protective as well. And they're very strong, and they end up having fights about things, but they're very loving, very confident cats. But with the catnip, the reminder is to have some fun, some coming in on number 2 again, which is interesting. So another divine feminine energy coming in here. Remember to have fun this week. It's not all about doing the things. Sometimes it's about rolling around on your back looking like an idiot, rolling around in some catnip and just playing with your toys, and that's okay too. And then I've just got Sekhmet that wants to come in here. So goddess Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess, very protective, very strong feminine energy. So the strong feminine could be very supportive to the masculine this week as well. So that is the overview for this week. That's this week kind of at a glance, the energy that we're looking at for the next 7 days. Next we are going to go day by day, looking at the days of the week, Monday through Sunday, finishing up with a spiritual guidance message at the end. You might have seen a couple of the dragon cards that I already put up on Instagram to give you a sneak peek there. We're also going to have some astrology dice, probably some of these numerology dice, and maybe some charms at the end as well. I will see you there if you are a member on Ko-fi. If you're watching on YouTube, please head over to Ko-fi. The link will be in the description below. And you can sign up to be a member, and you can watch the rest of this video and all of my weekly forecasts and more. I'll see you there. Thank you very much for watching. If you're not already a member of this channel on YouTube, Rumble or Odyssey, please do remember to join. And I will see you on Monday. Well, Monday's reading anyway. See you in a minute.